Dynasty is yeah. Dynasty is live. Yeah. Dynasty is live. Get it back. Yeah. From the ground floor, yeah, we started with a vision. Blueprint in the smoke, all pressure, all precision. Late nights, hard calls, every move had a reason. Built it brick by brick, now the whole room fever. Hope I've been hit big, felt the love in the crowd. Hands in the air, yeah, they said it out loud. Every grin, every shout, we could feel it come down. From a sea to a wave, now we run this town. Hold up, you can hear it in the grass. Cut sharp, cut clean. Every step got a stamp, every bar got steam. We've been moving too fast for the old out team. Now the name hit the room like a live wire beam. Now the dynasty is live. Now the dynasty is live.
Welcome back to Brick Dynasty Live. Tonight's guest, his stack of convention badges is deeper than your backlog, and his stack of awards and nominations is taller than your latest build. Welcome, Jesse's Brick Galaxy.
Hey,
Jesse, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me on. Yeah, those are high accolades, man. I hope I'm living up to some of that. That's great.
I mean, you are a legend in this community. You've been around for, 14 years or so? Somewhere.
Yeah, probably 2012. Was definitely buying Lego and jumping in the deep end like immediately.
It's a hell of a run.
Yeah.
So, before we get into that, it's I did give you a little warning here. I got to ask your thoughts on the Doomsday trailer. What's your take?
Avengers Doomsday. Oh man, yeah. I used to do the spoiler. What did we call it? Superhero spoiler show. So like a big portion of my channel was like spoiling trailers and videos. So I haven't thought about like talking about it in that headspace, but I've seen the Avengers Doomsday, and I'm a big Marvel guy. Like when I started mocking things, it was like, let's build Marvel stuff. So I'm excited for Dr. Doom, his character arc in any comic book. I mean, I collected comic books first in my teenage years, right? That was like the first collection kind of thing. And man, now the Marvel universe is doing things pretty good. I think it is like they've found that like we like the homages to comic book covers and things. When Wolverine takes out his claws and you see Hulk in the reflection on the Deadpool movie, and I think the Spider-Man is also coming out soon for any day and is full of like homages to comic book art. So I think the MCU though, like Doomsday is it's in its own wheelhouse where they've got the 10-year Infinity Saga under their belt, and they're going to try to do it again. You can't really like, they're going to try to do like a sliver it, I think, because they're teasing multiverse war, Doom bringing together what looks like, sorry, spoilers for people that haven't watched Doomsday trailer. It's just the trailer. Everybody can watch it. And they'd make these trailers like out of order so you can't tell what's going on or whatever. But it looks like they're bringing, Fantastic Four universe, MCU is basically 616, and then probably X-Men, and just like literally drawing the planets together to probably crush into a battle world is my hypothesis, I think, right now. In the comics, Doom made a country made of different, like all the best superheroes from all across all the multiverses. So it looks good. They've got a lot of cool characters to use. So hopefully it's not like too much fan service, I guess. But I appreciate the fan service. Like, if you know the comic, you're gonna like this a lot better. And Kevin Feige and that whole team has hit that on the mark most of the time. Set up.
Are you excited?
Yeah, I got to get my tickets.
Yeah.
In Infinity Vision. I think it's funny that what is it? Dune 3 or whatever is coming out in the same weekend, and they decided not to back out and change the dates because Dune has all the IMAX reserved. So I guess every other digital screen is going to be doing Avengers, and then they'll win in the end because they'll just be like, all right, and now you can see it in IMAX. Now go, like a couple weeks later. Now see it in IMAX. Yeah, that's my jam for a long time. It's kind of changed right now that my big thing was I collect comics, and then I started collecting Lego and building MOC and building my versions of headquarters in Lego to pay homage, all the stuff that I was speaking out at.
All right. So, all right. Before we get into the things that you've built long before Lego, which still blows my mind, just going back and looking at all that stuff.
Yeah, that's my favorite comment.
Yeah. I was showing my wife your like Batman Shadow box that you did ages ago.
Okay.
With the yellow highlights in it.
That goes back.
Yeah, that thing was beautiful, man. It was so
Thanks. Good. Yeah, clever ideas. Like we're all borrowing ideas, I don't think Lego stole my ideas or, for all these things. They're just good ideas, so it's going to happen where they come up with a set, or especially if it's just like straight modeled after a comic book, headquarters. But yeah, thanks. The Batman thing. I think the Batman movie, the Lego Batman movie came out, and all the different costumes were something to collect. And I'm like, how do you show this off? And I think I had a row of them in the background of that cave. And it also had a train that I think they were on the train. I forget. So
I'm trying to think how did you do that? In the picture on Instagram, you split it and you put Lego's version at the top and yours on the bottom. And then I think you just had the minifigs lined up in front of it. And I think there were some inside, if I remember right.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's how the picture was there. But yeah, it's the contrast between the two is just unbelievable. Lego's version was just kind of like flat. Like from a distance and photographed, it just came off flat. It wasn't enough color to make it pop.
Yeah, and they've done the symbol, and I don't know. Some of it's just born out of a need to do something collectively. I don't know, to showcase things differently, because space is a premium, at these shows and stuff. So to have something underneath, draws people in closer. And I think on that one, I had a Marvel side also that was Marvel cut out. And on the other side that you probably don't see too often, there was a teaser to Flash. There was the particle accelerator kind of tunnel thing. I think that's what was flying around, actually, was Flash was running through the thing on the DC side. I don't know.
That was, I'm trying to think. I think that picture said it was 2018 you built that?
Yeah.
Does that sound right?
That'd be right. I was starting to work at Brickmania about 2017, 2018. So. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So let's go all the way back for a minute we don't jump around the timeline and get too lost.
The TVA will come after me.
Yeah. So when did you get started? You said it was 2012?
I'd say 2012. Yeah, it's just a good round number of hey, the 2012 apocalypse didn't happen, and we're hitting the 40-ish number. And what do you do with your discretionary income at that point where you're like, hey, my career is doing okay. I'm not wealthy by any standard. I'm not, but I'm ready for another hobby or whatever. And I like Star Wars, and Lego Star Wars about then was just after episode 1, 2, 3, Lego Star Wars started, but they had the yellow faces and stuff. So they were transitioning, I think, in 2012 to the more flesh tone figures. And so that IP stood out for me because I am okay with the yellow figures for Lego City and stuff, but I really, I think, attached to new flesh tones.
Then, so did you dive head first, or did you just kind of dabble at the beginning?
The dabbling became a deep dive pretty quickly from 2012 to 2014 because I buy Star Wars, X-Wing, TIE Fighter, Super Star Destroyer, and some cool things that were out at that time. And I was looking for, like, okay, who else is doing this? And I don't know what social medias were out even way back then, but Googled like Lego Minnesota, and Brickmania popped up. So I think I found Brickmania in 2013, 2014, and was like seeing that they had an event, a monthly small convention, if you will, just showing off their builders stuff. But they also had the Lego Train Club in there. So Greater Midwest Lego Train Club was separate, but the owner of Brickmania was a part of that club. So it was just kind of a buffer to have a show, to have all these trains and cities in a little room inside Brickmania's headquarters. And so when I found them all together and all the bricks that this club had, because GMLTC has been around for like 40 years. So they've been doing, they're like one of, if not the oldest Lego train club. They have layouts that were massive tables and mountains before they even had the color green.
That's
or brown. So I get a kick out of seeing the history of being in that club and learning, like, immediately, oh, I don't have to just follow the instructions. We can build a little tool. I'm looking at my first mock was like a tool shed or a tool shop, like a Menards or whatever, but like old school, and a barber shop. And I was just making little things for the city that the trains went around. Because for me, I'm in a train museum right now, but it's Lego first, like way, I like the architecture of building buildings. So I found a way to do that right away.
Okay, so that was fast to get in there. Now, when
Yeah.
you talk about their bricks, how does that work? Do you get to keep them forever? Do you have to buy them? Just
Right.
build?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, everybody does their membership a little differently, but you pay your dues by sorting brick, I would say. So we ask members to either join whatever club, and there's not really any dues or anything. Right now, there's museum membership fee to be part of the museum. So back before it was in Brickmania, it was just kind of like, if you want to play with the brick, sort the brick. So sort as much as you build is still kind of the formula we ask people to do. And for me, so if they were 40 years, they were doing stuff in the 80s, like collecting brick, an uncle and a nephew that started to do these huge train layouts, collecting just crazy amounts of 2x4s and stuff to create these things. And so the club has its own collection that started with two individuals, if you will, and their set of friends that started doing all this stuff. And it's always been kind of known to be the club parts. So if you build something for the club, it should stay in the club.
Okay. All right. And like you said, that's kind of its own convention of sorts. So if you're building something, other people get to see it anyway.
Yeah, you're on display.
So, okay.
Just locally, I'm in Minnesota, Minneapolis. That was Brickmania's headquarters is in Minneapolis. And I'm like 10 miles from them. So it's like
cool.
Close. It might be 7 miles. So yeah, that was I think all is still a unique situation that a Lego train club or a log has its own parts that you can go to and build and just go massive. So I would see what they had, and I love the challenge of building with the limited parts, if you will, and having 3 to 4 million bricks doesn't seem limited, but when you're doing, massive tables and 9-story towers, it gets, there's usually plenty of filler brick to make everything happen, but there's like 2 things usually on a building that you want to add to buy your own parts. Windows, number 1. If they don't have enough windows, I was buying window frames left and right and just supplementing the club's collection over time. And then some other architectural element. You need something in there for flavor. And it doesn't really need to be a new part, but it might be an upside down part or the back side of a part. Something to make it stand out a little bit. And so over time, me and other members have definitely contributed to the club's collection, and that's how it came. That's how it's still striving.
When you're building something that you intend to have on display for a long time, do you still put the glass in?
I don't.
No. Okay.
I mean, it's build the shell first, worry about the glass later. And it's not a detail. I'm pretty loose, so easy going on. Like, this is done. I'm not like nitpicking the fine details. Like, oh, I need to change this. Oh, it's not done till it has glass in there. I think I would do well on Lego Masters because I'm a fast and easy going. Like, that's good enough. Move on to the next thing. So I have buildings that have like the Baxter building that has so many different iterations of, here it is basic, here it is with the windows, here it is totally rebuilt with different lights. So
did you start putting lights in early on, or is that something recent?
Yeah, I want to say lights were always there. There is a well-known company that also is based in Minnesota called Brick Stuff. And Brick Stuff is high-end, very durable, and brilliant lights made for Lego. One of the first Lego-centric light kit makers. And they happen to be up here. So we're like, perfect. This guy's like, he'll come to Brickmania and do stuff for them, for their little spotlights and Jeeps and he's done some custom wiring like for us.
Cool.
And the Brick Stuff is like always been lights and motion, because trains have always been kind of part of my learning experience in the Lego world.
Oh, that's awesome. I think with your average person, I'm assuming here that they're intimidated by motion, and it takes a long time to actually get to the point where you're comfortable with that. I
Yeah.
suppose if you're around it right from the start, it's probably a lot easier over time. Right?
Yeah. Well, trains is, I would say, easy motion. You got to have
Right.
track. It takes space, but it does give that feeling of being alive, right?
Yeah.
I've, twirled helicopter blades. I've done some things, but not a lot of complicated things with motors.
Okay.
But definitely lights all over the place.
Yeah. Well, lights is also kind of a skill set. There's a lot more to it than just trying to hide wires, right?
Yeah.
There's a big difference between having lights and proper lighting, I suppose.
And your standard for that, like I've seen super pro photographers, with their little campfires lit up and the light inside, and occasionally, I don't know, I wouldn't say I go that extreme every time. Especially lately, I'm more complacent about, I'll drop a string of lights and you'll see it. And during either World of Lights of Chicago, or we do our own night trains at the museum. So things are lit up for a reason there also. So, but I've learned to get some cheap Amazon things and stick that in there, and you can hide. One of the tricks I used recently is just taping tissue paper to the windows, and you can't see inside, but you can light through it, and it makes a cool shadow effect. So I've done that a couple of times actually in a haunted house and the Alchemex building, where, yeah, cheat code. You got to build for transportation. Like, yeah, hiding lights and hiding wires is like, can make it so much more complicated to tinker around or pull it apart and downsize it for travel. But it's always good to be thinking of all those things when you're building.
How often do you find yourself rebuilding?
A
lot. Huh?
Yeah. I build with my hands. I don't use computer programs. I've learned that is just the way I operate. So I'll try a technique. I'll get one of the Lego Train members to say, "Oh, you should try this," or "You should try this piece," and then all of a sudden you're redoing it. Or you're redoing it for lights, or you're redoing it for texture. The building I'm doing right now is more like, when I physically went there and saw it, I'm like, oh, that texture is way rougher than just a flat gray brick wall that looked like on Google Pics. So yeah, I'll rebuild it. We joke that to pull it apart and rebuild it. That's just part of the game.
Do you ever have a time frame in mind when you start these builds? Like, oh, this will be a quick one, and then it takes you months, or like you just assume everything is just going to take what it takes?
Yeah, there's usually a deadline. It's either a convention or if it's for the museum, our big season is winter night trains. So October/November is usually a deadline to whatever we're adding to the Lego train layout in the museum. Should be done, and because it's hard to work on a mock that's in a museum, with guests going around and stuff. Although we all have, most of us have access. So I was there today after work. Rush hour's been terrible on my route, so I actually work like blocks away from the museum, and sometimes go there to kill a few hours.
Awesome. Now, okay, so you said that sharing space in, you mentioned that you would work for, Jesus, what do you call them there?
Brickmania?
Yes, Brickmania. Jeez, I almost said Brick Tactical. Different thing. So you work for Brickmania.
Mm-hmm.
How did that come to be? Is it just from hanging out and being in the same space? Like,
Totally, yeah. I would say it was not the easiest decision because the opportunity arose because, yeah, I'm in this Lego Train Club that's operating inside Brickmania's headquarters. So I know the staff, they know me, they know what I can do. But I have a day job that's decent, so I'm going to continue to like work my engineer job so that I can afford the Lego that I'm trying to hobby. Making your hobby your profession is a tough pill to swallow sometimes for a length of time. So yeah, they'd made me an offer, and I think I refused them at least twice. Like, I'm good, you know. And they made me an offer like a third time, and I think maybe it was the role too at that time. They do a lot of conventions, and that's kind of how I got into conventions. My title was roadshow manager. So for Brickmania, I wasn't a designer, although I have designed some sets. I was the roadshow manager. So I went to all the brick worlds. I went to all the brick fairs. I went to a lot of the brick universes. I went to Brick Rodeo, Brick LA, Brick Cascade, Brick, you name it. My job was to take the Brickmania panel van, load it up with all the tanks and all the soldiers, and they had the Missouri on display. You've probably seen pictures of this USS Missouri. It's 25 feet long. It comes in 10 different segments and crates and boxes. So half the van almost is just carrying the Missouri and putting that on display, and then having the Brickmania booth nearby selling their custom soldiers, or it was mostly military kits because Lego doesn't like to do war. So they had a niche of, we're going to use real Lego bricks and sell you the realistic looking tanks and soldiers that are part of history. And yeah, so it wasn't right away, but it was a tough decision, you know. It's like, dang, you know, I have a civil engineering degree. I work at a engineering company, and I'm doing okay. Do I want to leave that? Like, will I miss something if I take a sabbatical? So it ended up working out. It was a nice like 2-year getaway, and then I went almost right back to the same business, but a different one.
all right, so you stayed in the same trade.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's cool. And all right, so having an engineering background, that ties into the hobby pretty well, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, civil engineering is all about infrastructure, and so you don't see a lot of that, but foundations are a big component. What I do is special inspections, usually for commercial buildings that are testing the concrete, the soils, rebar, steel. All the critical connections need a third-party inspection. So I learned all of that trade, testing concrete, and now I've been managing jobs, sending other technicians out to small remodels to large bridge projects, and all kinds of stuff. So
All right. So that's why you can build a 9-story tower, because you know what you need to actually support it.
I think it takes. Yeah. Yeah. I know. I don't know. A little bit. Sure.
Yeah.
It's building with Lego is different.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I was gonna say, but yeah, it's funny that I'm more architectural minded, I think, when I build, but I'm not an architect. That's what people
So,
see.
so while you were with Brickmania, how many conventions did you end up in? Did you actually keep track?
Yeah, I can tell you, I went to 32 shows in less than 2 years.
Incredible.
So that's nearly 2 a month. Every 2 to 3 weeks, I was on the road again, going to some new state that I've never been to, meeting new people, all the people in the Lego community, like early YouTube days, early social media days, and finding out that yeah, you can get some accolades by showing off your stuff at these shows, and you can meet people like we are meeting each other right now, and like we just know the Lego community and can kind of hang out in these spaces. So super fortunate to like have been exposed to so many different circuits of Lego conventions by being a vendor.
Yeah. How was it being a vendor where, I mean, that's not just like a vendor with a little table. That's running a legitimate business through all of this.
Yeah.
So I'd imagine you were staying pretty busy. Not a lot of downtime during opening hours anyway.
No, and the just like mockers, I'm setting up the Missouri the first full day and a vending booth. So it's like you're there, you're setting up, you crash out, and then you open to the public, and you're not like crazy busy, you know. Brickmania prices are up there, but people are shopping, and that clientele, you get used to certain people that are like serious about what they're getting, and learn about it, a little bit about history, and but yeah, you don't have any downtime. So the fact that they let me bring a mock, like the first year, I don't think I brought a mock with me, but like after a while, I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna bring a little Dr. Strange Sanctum Sanctorum to Bricks LA and put it on. And I think that was my first mock at a convention was Bricks LA. And I met Troy, Agents of Mock, in LA because he had a Sanctum also right across the way from my mock. And I'm like, who is it? And I wasn't hanging out at my mock, so it's like, who is this guy, And I'm like, so when I finally met him, I was like, yo, we need to hang out because this is like we're building the same things. So
that's cool. Yeah. I met Troy for the first time the other day on Mayo's show, his 24-hour stream.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, very nice guy.
Yeah, Agents of Mock. Check him out. I've got my little crew, if you will. Started with Troy and Alicia, and when they eventually got married, I was like best man at their wedding.
Cool.
And then Mel and Larry, I think, are my next two right-hand mans. And Mel was early. When I went to Brick Fair, Virginia, I met him. And this was probably, again, 2018. I only worked at Brickmania 2017, 2018. So a lot of things happened in those 2 years. And then that was before he was on Lego Masters.
Okay, so that's
Iceberg Bricks, yep.
Okay.
And then Larry's my Denver homie. So I go up to random people that have cool mocks, and if we click, we hang out and we're like new, homies. So this last year I met a Dungeons and Dragons guy, and he joined us for a game, and now he's playing with us virtually too. So
Wow.
yeah, Chris from Iowa is the new homie, but that's a whole nother chapter. My Dungeons and Dragons stuff.
Yeah.
We're on Brickmania.
Yeah. Okay. So Brickmania, 2 years.
Or Troy. Yeah. I don't know where we are. Convention still.
All right. It's 32 conventions in under 2 years. That's wild.
So in between, imagine, eventually you have a month where you don't have a show. What do you do with staff? I can only restock the shelves so much. And he knows I'm I'm a Lego builder at heart. What can I do? Can I make a set? What can I do? And there was a piece of blue hair that looked perfect for Rick from Rick and Morty. And so when Rick and Morty was pretty hot, I was like, we should do, because we were doing some sci-fi. They were doing Battlestar Galactica a little bit, and Aliens, and little sets that were maybe too adult themed for Lego. Lego was not dabbling in these adult themed, R-rated things. They didn't have a Terminator, still don't have a Terminator, right? So you have to get these custom characters. So the first idea we had was for this Rick and Morty multiverse spaceship. And this guy is credited with my name somewhere on there. Can you see that? Jesse Moller.
Yeah.
Yay.
Wow. That's going to feel so cool.
Right? That's winning. That's winning life. When you're in the Lego world, and I don't work for Lego, but I work for Brickmania, and guess what? We made 100 of these, which is pretty cool. And I designed the whole thing, and then they do a custom minifigure for Rick and Morty, and a couple of sticker pieces and stuff for this garbage can spaceship thing. And then the marketing team did a whole crazy video for it, because they were all geeking out that we're actually doing this. So
yeah,
that's amazing. For sure. And I've got all 4 sets. You want me to go on a roll here?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So the second thing I did was from National Lampoon's Vacation.
Oh, I love it.
The Family Truckster, the Wagon Queen, now in metallic pea green. And they went, now the graphics for the box are getting even crazier. They got a little moose in the background. There's full pictures of it running off the desert jump right there. And they did a video for this one. There's cool shots of Wally World in the background there. And then the whole family custom printed characters. Dan Siskin had done an earlier version of the Family Truckster, and I thought with some of the techniques out, it was time for an upgrade. And I didn't know it was a bad thing to do stickers over seams. So this has total sticker over seams, for the wood paneling. It's just I'm just going to do that. So I learned that was probably not the best thing, but I think appropriate for that time. 424 pieces.
Awesome.
After that, space was kind of a thing. And so this was not my decision. They're this was on their hit list. And I'm I could do a Pioneer 10. And that was the first shuttle thing that went to Jupiter. And or past Jupiter, and decided to put a minifig of Carl Sagan in there.
Cool.
turtleneck. So that's a cool kit. 114 pieces, not much there, but another like big box set designed by Jesse Butler. So that's fun. And then one more big box set is kind of unique. When we were traveling from Florida through Tennessee, we decided to stop at Third Man Records, where Jack White of the White Stripes has his record label company. And they did that video, Fell in Love with a Girl, which is all Lego stop motion. And they had a prototype of his concept. Like Jack White himself made a Lego model and took it to somebody and said, I want the video to look like this, with a bunch of blocks, playing the drums. And they had that in the store. And my friend was like, we need to get your info and maybe we could recreate this set and sell kits for you guys. So the fourth thing I've done is a White Stripes pretty blocky set, but that looks like the prototype and or the video. And to be super clever on this one, you have two versions of these characters in the drums, and you can spell out White Stripes with all the same bricks.
Wild.
So this is a 3-in-1 kit.
It's crazy.
Same bricks, but three different things you could build with it. I don't know if they got the all the instructions, but yeah, Fell in Love with Girl block kit. This was only sold through Third Man Records, but produced by Brickmania.
Wow.
So that one's super special.
Man, what a wild ride. And that was all in that short a period of time, or did that?
Years, yeah.
Okay.
There's a couple other little things, but those 4 big kits on downtime, because I'm building. I'm just, I need to, I'm salary or hourly, I got to make a paycheck. I can't, so I started designing a few things in between shows. And that was super special. Ended up getting my younger brother hired, and all the instructions and stickers. He was working at a print shop, so he was doing printing and things. And when somebody left, I was like, hey, bro, you should get a job at Brickmania, because it's like a pretty fun place to work, and they need someone who knows how to run big instruction making things. And so it must have been 2018 he got hired, and he still works there.
Wow. Okay, so apparently he enjoys it, because that's a very long run.
Yeah, well, he's not a Lego guy at heart. He's just a job. He's running printing machines. He's got kids and stuff now, so he's into it a little bit with the kiddos and stuff. But it takes a special, dedication to take that step from following instructions to making your own.
Yeah. And, well, also if you're with Brickmania, then it's a different kind of exposure.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not into Lego, period, and Brickmania is your exposure, I would think it's not. If you're not specifically into that stuff, it's not as tempting to get in.
Right. And I'm seeing pioneers, basically, Dan Siskin, I believe a brickmaster from Brick World. Also, the first blacksmith shop is his, basically the first idea set, way before ideas. The first fan created kit that Lego produced is the guy right down, a couple miles away.
That's great.
So yeah, that's and I've always told people that whether it's sports or art or whatever your hobby is, if you want to get better at something or good, you know, and then start getting better, you have to surround yourself with people that are better than you.
Yeah.
So I'm fortunate about being around that, you know, because the model builders that were designing the other like super crazy tanks and stuff were really good. Yitzy and all kinds of guys.
Now, were they good mock builders, or were they good in the studio?
Well, I think they're more mock builders, but there's a difference between putting out a vehicle and building something that's like a whole scene. I think. I guess people do build vehicles and just call that a mock, but yeah.
Yeah. I feel like studio is almost a different kind of talent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I learned how to use Bricks. It was it Brick Studio or I forget, because when I came up with this model, guess who has to make the instructions? The guy that designed it.
Oh.
So I had to figure out retro, like, okay, I know what I want to do, but how do I now build this in design program and then build it in order so that it can be downloaded as it kind of figures out how to, it pre-templates you into instructions if you design it a certain way. And then you got to add all the little arrows or subsets and turn it around instructions and numbers. So I learned that there, but I never kept it. I'm like, this is homework. This is work now to put it in a design program.
Was it hard to transition from Brickmania to the real world again?
Not really.
No.
It was. I was welcomed back to. I would say a competing company. It was good to shuffle the deck a little bit there and like just not go back to the same. I applied at 2 places, and the one that was right by the train museum, I'm like, I was like, you have to hire me. Like my hobby is right down the street, so like it's kind of bittersweet that I'm like always going the same direction to St. Paul now, but still convenient. And yeah, with my experience and in civil engineering, it wasn't too tough to just get a job.
Was it hard to let go of going to that many conventions though?
I mean, I was probably burning out.
Yeah,
like always on, living in a hotel room. It's fun to go to 5 or 6 shows, but 18 in 1 year, that's crazy. So I don't know. I'm just blessed that it was like an opportunity that exposed me to so many different people and lugs and shows that, for the most part, was all paid for by the company. I didn't have to pay for my room or my pass, but I had to work. I had to sell those kits.
Your first show after your basically your first independent show, but not having to work, was it a big relief? Sense of independence.
Yeah, because I think it was just because there's all these games and drafts that are happening, behind the scenes, and I didn't have time for any of that stuff during public hours. There were a couple after-hour things where I remember partaking and having fun, but there's not there's so much, like, especially brick world, there's so much stuff going on that you can do, and panels, and just working your mock versus being in a vendor booth is another, like, change my world kind of thing. So I like, talking to people and seeing what they got to say, or answer questions about the builds.
When this year's opening ceremonies might have been, Mark Larson was talking about, answering the same questions over and over again.
Yeah.
Does that get really tedious, or is it amusing?
It's just kind of amusing. Yeah. I don't think of that number, right? How many pieces and how long did it take you to build? It's like, I just tell people it depends on what it is, and it's like everybody has their own amount of free time, so it's like, if I got a full-time job, I'm not retired. Yeah, it took me 6 months to do this because I'm spending 2 or 3, 4 or 5 hours maybe a week, not 4 hours, 20, 30 hours a week. I'm not crazy obsessive about like mock building all the time. But it's definitely, what I do at my own pace, I guess, is what I tell people.
Have you found that you get different reactions based on if you say, oh, it took me 6 months versus, oh, it took me 300 hours, or
yeah, well, kids at the museum will see the whole layout and they're like, oh my gosh, how many builds, how bricks is that? Yeah, it's 500,000 bricks. And okay, how long did that take? Well, it took about 6 people 7 years to build, so it was, so that's the number I'm used to saying at the museum, because it's like 50 mocks altogether. And that's where my mocks go to live, basically, and retire. It's like I build Hall of Justice, Avenger headquarters, they're all on display still. Sitting on the train layout.
That frees up a lot of space at your place, right?
Right, yeah. The bonus about joining a lug or any kind of group that has a display like that, which is kind of rare, but for the model train people too, it's like if you don't have enough room in your basement to do a train layout, join a club and work together and either travel with that layout or work together on that layout, and then you feel like you can accomplish so much more, I think, in a lug or a club. And yeah, I don't even have a running train. I think I tried once on a small table, and I'm like, that takes up so much room. Brick Hive has a train layout.
Yeah, let's take a peek over at chat here. We've been ignoring.
What's up, Brick Hive? Let's see, Brick Hive.
All right, well, folks, let's see what do we got here. Came in with Boone. Hello, for the love of bricks. Oh, it's Maddie. Hello,
Maddie. What up?
Papa Rex. Good evening, sir. Waluigi. Hello. Awoke Divine Mercy. That's an unfamiliar name.
First time, like the show.
Hoarder 66. What's going on, man? Good to see you.
Yo,
Seal Ghost is here.
Up harder.
And then Mr. Hive. Always a pleasure to see Mr. Hive.
Yeah, you're hitting all the people. I was like, oh, this guy's legit. Brick Dynasty. I'm like, who is this guy? I don't know.
Yeah.
But you're like getting you're getting all the people the who's who, I would say, in the YouTube world.
Yeah, well, I try to, grab people from every little corner the best I can, so everybody can, I don't know, cross-pollinate in their communities.
Yeah.
It's hard, people get into their little bubbles or I hate the word clique, but you get into a clique of sorts, and then we all have such little amounts of time. You tend to gravitate towards your people and not see beyond that. So I love the idea of giving people the opportunity to see people outside of their clique. So
I know. Yeah.
and I just love this community, and I'll talk to pretty much anybody. So
A lot of I think I think it's pretty uniquely welcoming,
yeah,
and I think a lot of clubs think they might be in the same boat as a welcoming community. But man, it's been very inclusive and friendly, and even though there are awards and stuff for these shows, it's very friendly. It's like bragging rights only. Like I didn't win like money for any of these trophies. Maybe a Lego set, so, but like even that angle of like trying to be competitive is pretty friendly.
yeah, yeah. It seems like most of the competition is internal more than external. Competing with yourself and your prior builds.
It's tough, like if you don't get that nomination, it's a tough gig, and it could take like there's 1,000 people at least that are decent out of the 1,400 and 3,000 mocks that are in Brick World, and it like to get nominated is just like that's winning for sure. But you can't like I don't know. You got to go to other shows. I think have you been to any other shows, Ken? Because like you go to a brick
World so far. Well,
yeah, you go to Brick Fair or Brick Convention, even like there's a lot of like franchise shows, Brick Universe, Brick Convention,
Brick Convention. I think we did Brick Convention because that was a slightly upgraded version of Brick Fest Live. I think it was. And those were, they were great for my little ones, but they were not good for me.
Yeah, it's not an AFOL event. Like, Brick World is the Super Bowl of like that AFOL event.
Yeah.
And usually we call it an expo. It's not really a convention if they're just basically catering to that public hour show and allowing people to show off their mocks and having vendors in. But yeah, it's you got to get out there, and I was trying to go to Brick Fair, but I just can't escape with the summer construction schedule. Next month, I'd love to go to Brick Slopes. I'm gonna miss. It looks like everybody's going to Brick Slopes, and that is a super fun show. But yeah, August is just I'm slammed. But yeah, I've been around. Can I show off the trophies?
Oh yeah, I'd love to see.
So like, since we're on the circuit of I'll start with the oldest one, and I probably have other ones, but so Brick Mania, of course, is the first trophy. Most over the top from World War Brick 2016. So
wow.
2016, I made a scene of I'm blanking now. The guy from Great Escape on the motorcycle. Why can't I think of that actor's name right now? Steve McQueen. Yes. Steve McQueen, and he's jumping over the barbed wire fence to escape the Nazis. So the joke for over the top is my motorcycle was like jumping in midair over the top of this barbed wire, Lego barbed wire that I bought like 20 or 30 pieces of this like barbed wire that's like $1 a piece or something. That's crazy. Look at how cool that trophy is. So that's 2016.
Legit trophy.
That's legit. So then I usually tell people, don't try to win. Just do something fun. Like I was riding motorcycles at that time. I had a Triumph. I rode a couple of different Bonnevilles. So I'm like, I'm taking my motorcycle hobby. I'm taking my Lego hobby. I'm taking my Brick Mania, like little passion, and putting something out there. And it had a background, and I wish I still had it. It was like, I should remake it. It was so fun. So that's Brick Mania. 20. So this is when I was going to conventions with the Missouri, and this is the Brick Slope of Brick Slopes. And this is a Chonky Award. This was AFOL. I was the runner-up. AFOL Choice runner-up. I brought this Star Wars micro scene with a train flying micro ships around. So they were like doing this while they went this way, and so it was crazy. And you didn't see a lot of micro stuff back then. And I was just happy. Like, I built that for the show at Brickmania, just to be in the train club, to do something different with trains. And because I started with Star Wars, I'm like, I want to do Star Wars. And the van was just big enough to put a crate over this thing. No disassembly at all. Just straight crate over like a 40-inch by 40-inch box, and push it in and just set it up at a show. And it was super cool. And I was like, this was the moment I think I'm like, wow, people recognize like that I'm doing something. I don't know. It was cool.
Now,
So
was that Colorado or was that Utah?
Utah. There was only Utah for I mean, they experimented with the Colorado thing last year or the year before. I don't know that it's working out. So still, Utah is the place to go. So gonna miss you guys out there in August, but I'll definitely go back. But I'm kind of going for like, I want a trophy in like a Grand Slam or what, like everywhere I go. So I'm targeting Brick Fair. I don't have a Brick Fair one. So Brickmania, Brick Slopes. Then is this Bricks Cascade? Is this? And this was a group effort in 2022.
That's a cool one.
I guess I'm jumping. The trophy was a Spider-Man mixed with Batcave multiverse thing.
Huh.
They build their own trophies, like unique to the theme, and so we won like best superhero, and that was super special because this is when I collaborated with Troy and Iceberg Bricks and me, and we're deciding to do the Spider-Verse collab, and we were gonna do Brick World in 2020. And COVID happened. And then Mel was on the show. And so we had to wait until, 2 years later, we have this huge Spider-Verse collab to show it off somewhere. And we decided Brick Cascade for some reason. And we went out there and brought this home. And the uniquest thing happened that I like all these things that have happened to me. Imagine a comic book fan building a Miles Morales version of the Spider-Verse. And here's my centerpiece, and we have the whole collider underneath. And then we have a whole Spider Noir, and melded 2099 future Spider-Man. So we had like 3 glitched out multi Spider-Verses. And somebody comes up to me, and this huge, it was packed, and people are wearing masks, and this guy's in a mask. He's like, bro, I like your Spider-Man mock. I was like, that's my character. I created Miles Morales. I'm like, what? Brian M. Bendis, the creator of Spider-Man.
No shit.
Yes. The co-creator is in the crowd telling me how much he likes my version of Miles Morales Spider-Verse. And I was just like, what is going on?
Wow.
So I got a selfie with him, and I'm like, we got to do a picture. I should have got his autograph. But now I'm a big Brian M. Bendis. He's done really excellent stuff for stories modern day. And it's like full circle artist like loop of me appreciating his work, creating the Spider-Verse mock, and then him visiting it and seeing it. It's the wildest thing that ever happened. So wildest thing. That's better than a trophy. I skipped this one. This is 2020, so I think right before COVID, we went to Bricks LA, and we got the No I in Team award or something. That was me and Troy, and I want to say it was also Mel, but it wasn't the Spider-Verse. I should know what this is for. It looks like an Oscar.
Yeah, it does.
That was another cool, like, they just build the award. So I've got a Bricks LA. They're disbanded now, but Brick Centric is the new LA show. So hopefully that's another fun one to go out to.
Yeah, it's Mel and Shy were talking about that on the latest episode of Sauce. It didn't sound like either of them were super excited about it.
Yeah. All right, and now the Brick Worlds.
The stack.
The stack. So this is pretty rare. Nobody, like, I don't know. Like, I guess I'm working towards being a brick master. But I have 1-1. If you're nominated, you get a 1x1. If you win, you get a 1x2. So in 2023, best small group layout, we won for the X-Men mosaic that I did with Larry and EJ from Abby Dabbles. And again, surround yourself with people that are good. Like, most of these are collaborations. You know, it's like you surround yourself with other people that are good, and you have a better chance of winning something. So this goes back 2018. Best group layout. Before they had medium and small groups, I collaborated with Amanda Fuke, who is now a Brickmaster. Go figure. We did a Kubo display, and it was really fun. So we did, I think, 4 or 5 different base plates of a micro scene again. I still have the little top of the mountain that I did. So 2018, I got a nomination. And then, and this is crazy. In 2022, I brought four things.
4.
And I got 4 nominations. So this is what I call my Grand Slam at Brick World. So I brought, we brought some train stuff. So we had a 5 times large train scale thing. We had, dang, I don't remember all this stuff.
Wrong way. Hold on. Let me see if I can switch that.
I got my photos.
One of these days, I'm going to figure out how to full screen this one person.
Go through the portfolio. Are you big screening me? Is that what we're doing? Okay. So yeah, the Grand Slam. I can't even tell you what all these things were. There, I built a goat that was 5 times big. There was, I can't even think on screen, but everything I brought got nominated. And then I've got a couple more in the last couple of years. So 2024, 25. Last year I didn't get nominated. So a couple of whoops. I didn't really try this year. I don't think I tried many of these years. I like how I build what I like, and other people like these things. So yeah, that's the stack.
Yeah. All right. So Water says, you know, you're a good builder when you can build a mock with your brick trophies.
Yeah, there's a guy that had way more of these, and he built a demolition derby thing made out of all these bricks.
My God.
That guy had a lot of trophies.
Yeah. Oh, Liam's here too. What's going on, Liam? Good to see you.
Liam. Good day.
Yeah. Liam's a legend. He was one of the best people we met this year.
Yeah.
My God, feels like a year ago already.
We had one small conversation. Him and his boy were hanging out. I forget which way I was going and what we were doing.
Yeah, Liam covered a lot of ground. A lot of ground.
Mm-hmm.
The boy was moving. Yeah.
There's a recap of my little trophy shelf. It's something.
Isn't there another one the top left corner in the northwest. Cascade's the one that's out by Cape, right?
Yeah. What conventions are up in the northwest? There's Bricks Cascade, there's Brick Can, and Bricks in the Six.
Okay. Brick Can being Canada?
Yep.
Okay.
I believe so.
All right. There's so many. I don't know how you keep track of them all.
Yeah. Well, it was my job for 2 years. And so I was like, oh, well, let's go. Let's try. Also was able to go to like San Diego Comic-Con with Brick Mania.
That's cool.
Went to Star Wars Celebration with Brick Mania stuff.
I don't think I understand that one.
I don't either. I'm like, why are we there? Like somebody was already a vendor and we bought his business, Brick Brigade. We bought Brick Brigade and kind of merged with his products, and he was already on the list. So that's the reason we got into Comic Cons.
Wow.
And we tried that a little bit too, like a couple other ones. And it's just like, unless you meet the right person, and you can.
Yeah, that's a weird fit though.
Yeah. I think the biggest celebrity I met at because the celebrity would go down and then shop at Brick Mania. And John Barrowman was like the biggest one, and the biggest, he bought like 4 or 5 big kits. Wow. And was into Brick Mania and creating something for, I don't know, man, it's crazy. So he's like on Doctor Who and Torchwood.
I don't know that one.
And I've done, a couple of the meet and greets at Comic Cons, but you don't have any time, if you're a vendor. You get exposed to the craziness of like San Diego Comic Con. I'm like, oh my gosh, what the hell are we doing here? Like, I got to work the booth. I can't go in line for the stupid Lego giveaway. It was rough.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about Brick World being the Super Bowl for Lego, and San Diego is kind of the Super Bowl for that, right?
Yeah, San Diego's the biggest. So I think Stanley was there, and I'm like, I'm going to the booth and just pre-purchasing his signature on a book. So I got Stanley's autograph on a Secret Avengers with a Lego Deadpool, because it was the only one with Lego cover on the thing. So
that's awesome. Now, all right, so that puts us, okay, timelining in my head here. So when did D&D start coming into the picture?
D&D, yeah, right?
Or after Red Dragon's Tale? Yeah,
I want to say it was not quite a COVID game, but yeah, after 2021, 22, people are stuck at home and stuff, and I started looking at how do I learn how to play D&D, and I was watching the virtual actual plays of Critical Role mostly, and thinking, everybody usually wanted to play D&D, but somebody had to become the dungeon master so that your group of friends can play D&D. And I just pulled the plug on that one and jumped straight into the role of being the game master. And it seemed to me like I could try to find a group of people that are already playing D&D, but they've already, once you have your game going, it's hard to invite new people in, I think. But it's getting better and more inclusive about that. So I want to say I learned how to play. I taught myself during COVID 2021 to play just solo adventures and how the rules work, and watching as Critical Role and other channels where basically you can learn how to play through little tutorials that they'll teach or watch their actual plays. And then so in 2022, we started playing, and I just invited my friends, Larry and Nikki and Troy and Alicia and a few others started joining that little inner circle of, and my gimmick was, well, if I'm the dungeon master, I got to have the miniatures. What's good for miniatures?
Yeah.
Lego minifigures is perfect. I'm like, I can take this hobby that I'm like already well invested in and create a new hobby and reuse the pieces that I've like, you know, taken these sets apart and army collected some castle guys and orcs and stuff and started, you know, going that route. So then that's when building superhero stuff started to wane a little bit, and building more fantasy and castle stuff for the game. And like, I'll build like a small thing for like a crypt and put it in front of a base plate, and you put the minifigures out there. And then I've used this crypt like 5 or 6 different times because, you know, you never know what direction they're going to head, or, you know, and I don't want to build something. So I kind of have a modular system for it to play Lego D&D. But part of it's really simple. Like, I build a thing, you can turn it inside on. Now you can play like you're in the crypt, or, you know, the monster and stuff. So yeah, that's been my focus. That's mainly, I want to say I read more. I don't know. It's at least equal, because like this shelf is also full of Dungeons and Dragons books, if you know, and dice and stuff like that. So for 4 years now, I've been really heavy into Dungeons and Dragons.
It's another very time-consuming hobby.
Oh my gosh, especially a DM. Like, the DM has to prep. You know, like, I have to build a scene that looks a little bit like, because that's what I want to do. I want the scene, the map to be Lego. So sometimes it's really basic. Like, so if they're in a tavern or something, you know, there it is. There's a couple tables and chairs, and you throw some monsters in there, and there's not much else going on. But they can have their little battle scene and jump around and throw tables and chairs or whatever they're going to do. But then you collect all these minifigs, and just, you know, that's your soldier guy or bad guy or whatever. I got some customs from K-Town. It looks like Jon Snow as a White Walker. So now I'm like getting all the Ninjago dragon sets, dream sets, castle sets, and adapting some of them so that we can play Dungeons and Dragons.
That's cool. The Dreams villains were so good. Very underrated.
Yeah. Well, they're still making them.
I think this is the last run. Right?
Oh, is it? Have they called it a
so.
season? Elves set. Yeah, Zizu knows my elf sets.
Zizu and Jazzy.
Zizu, Jazzy Viking Bricks. What's up, Jazzy? We got Zizu. So I'm usually on a show, Friday Night Bricks, with Reed and some other people, and yeah, there he goes. Jesse rips open some of the elf sets. I'll take new elf sets in box and just whoops. Well, this might have been $200, but not anymore. I'm gonna build it. So you can't find that stuff used.
Yeah, nobody wants to give it up, and if they do, it's top dollar.
Yeah, I actually went to a brewery yard sale, Lego yard sale, a couple weeks ago, and found 2 elf sets. Used and certified. All the pieces are there for one of the dragons and the Pegasus set. So Zizu, there's more to come. There is more. The box is not there, but there are more elf sets. And that's kind of what I brought to full circle to Brick World. We can go back to Dungeons and Dragons, because it kind of helped. It's all over the place now in the last 4 years. Is I built an elves theme tower for Brick World that had the goblins from Elves theme, and a picture straight out of a D&D book was my inspiration of this tower that had a staircase going around the outside. I'm like, how cool would that be to have a super tall tower the year Brickworld's doing heights and have a staircase like that you're totally going to fall off of going up this 5-foot tower. So, yeah.
Makes for good drama.
Yeah. So then 2 weeks after Brickworld, we played D&D on my tower. And I had them, I was kind of rough. I'm like, you have to get like the wizard, the bad guy's up there at the top of the tower. What are you going to do? 2 of them had flying, but the other 2 didn't. So the other 2 had to like climb up. And in D&D, you can only go 30 feet at a time. And the tower's 300 feet tall.
Oh, man.
So it took them 11 turns to like make skill checks for not falling off and saving each other.
Now, if you 30 feet at a time, in what kind of distance? Like if you're flying, can you go 30 feet?
Yeah, if you can fly 30 feet. If your movement is 30 feet, your fly speed is usually 30 feet. So even the flyers, I mean, you can dash. So on one turn, you can go 60 feet.
Okay.
So it still took them like 3 or 4 or 5 turns to like go peek at the top and see what's going on, while the other guys are struggling. Couple of fumbles. Nobody died. Nobody rolled. Nobody completely fell off. But
did you ever play the Ghostbusters Nintendo game? Do you remember that one? Going up the stairs, back and forth and back and forth.
like, what Nintendo are you talking about? Like old school?
Yeah, NES.
NES. I'm sure I did.
Okay. That's just what this makes me think of. That I don't remember much about the game other than the agony of the staircase, and because it was just back and forth and back and forth.
Like dodge something, shoot something, more stairs.
Yeah. Go up whatever it is, 20 flights and die and start again.
Yeah.
That's what that tower makes me think of. Trying to
old
go
school
30
games.
feet at a time.
I wish I played a little bit more video games, I guess. I played my fair share of video games, I think. So, I don't know. But that's an inspiration also, video games.
What? Video games are just a culture brought into your home, right? In the most compact manner.
Well, it's escapism, right? A lot of these hobbies are like, how can I turn off my brain and just sort some brick or build some brick, play a video game, lose yourself in the character of Ghostbuster or Harry Potter, and D&D is the same, right? We make up our characters and then just have to theater of mind think of the actions that we're going to perform, or move them around a little Lego map. It's been a way to take like a video. It's almost like playing a video game. There's skill checks and all these things.
D&D is a lot more social than most of the hobbies, though, right? Because there's human interaction beyond just staring at a single spot.
Right, it's a team game, number one. So, and there are team games, like you get 4-person Simpsons, and stuff like, it seems a little social, but yeah, there's the social aspect of role playing that some people lean more into, and I'm learning all of that. Right, I'm like a lot of people, a little introverted and an engineer-minded person. So for me, when I first started, I'm like, I got to get all these mechanics right. I got to referee these mechanics. So I'm leaning into a style that's more mechanics. And the social aspect is on the players for the most part. If they want to make friends with somebody or intimidate someone or whatever, then that type of cinematic role playing is back on the players for that experience.
So, as the dungeon master, are you also the narrator? Is that how
Yeah, kind of like setting the scene, right? Mm-hmm. I'll take an adventure. I'm very book minded on that. I'll read the adventure. I'm not homebrewing too much craziness. I've tried to grab random charts and make a new world, but it's like I think I just like want to follow the adventure. It's a little choose your own path. You know, you want to go here first or there first. We'll figure it out. And if you roll bad dice, bad things are going to happen. So you have to narrate some of those dynamics, and yeah.
Do you find yourself getting a little bit more dramatic in your reading as you go?
I'm getting better. Yeah, I think so. Yep.
That's gotta be tough.
It's super tough because you want to interact also. Like you don't want to just lore drop a big scene. You want them to investigate. Oh, the tapestry on the wall. Now you can see that, you know, this is the old family and whatever mystery might lie.
It's a lot of math too, isn't it?
I like the math part. So the crunching, yeah, that's where I excel. I think I've memorized a lot of the rules, and find myself to be the game referee on mechanics, style dungeon master.
That's fun. Now, do you have a set location that everybody meets, or do you travel?
Well, there's two different ways I play. The first one was in person around the table in my room. Just everybody come to my house. I've got the Lego, so for me to bring the Lego to somebody else's location would be tough. It can be done. I bring it to Chicago, and we do a game in Chicago on scene. But with the Lego community, everyone's in different states, so it's online. Just like we're talking now, we just play D&D on YouTube.
Wow. Wait, so do you do it live?
Yeah.
Or you do it unlisted?
Yeah, it's live right after Friday Night Bricks.
Okay.
Every couple of Fridays. We don't play every Friday because I'll play virtually with Alicia and Reed and Steve Polda and Bricklock and a few people, and we'll play, I don't know, every other-ish Friday. And then sometimes I'm playing in person. So I've got my in-person crew that's different, mostly people from around the museum or the lug. Anyway, we played at my house at least monthly for 3 years and finished a decent campaign from like 1 to 10, including Curse of Strahd. And then in that same time, online for 3 years, we did a campaign from level 1 to 20. So we beat the game.
3 years. That's intense.
3 years. So yeah, it was like session number 50, I don't know, 40, 50. Playing twice a month at least. That's 25, 50, 70? I don't know. I'll have to look at the count. But yeah, it's a commitment. Like, and it's kind of waned a little bit, you know, like at that time I had 6 players very consistently. And then after that campaign, a couple of them bowed out, but I've invited a couple of new people. And I've had other games. Me and Brick Hive actually were playing online for a little bit with Amber Liar builds and I was trying to get TJ to play, but we had a game for, I don't know, a little, maybe 5 sessions. Wasn't enough.
Is it really hard to have multiple games going at the same time?
Yeah, it's tough. You know, it is an escapism, right? But I think like you got to prep, especially if you're the dungeon master for different games. There's a lot going on where I'll read into the adventure so I know what's kind of coming up and prepare the little Lego monsters or build something new weekly. So it's kind of taken over, you know, like my mock time. I just build little scenes that are just kind of throwaway scenes sometimes, or sometimes they're something a little more clever, but I'll keep it around and reuse it.
What's it say? Jazzy wants to know if you played through the one that came with the Red Dragon set.
Yeah, so when the Lego set came out celebrating 50 years of D&D in Lego, we played the Red Dragon's Tale set, I think at least once in person and twice online, because it's a 4-person game and I had 8 people that wanted to play. So it's like we gotta divvy you guys up. Who's gonna be team A? Who's gonna be team B? And we'll just go through it separately. And I did that, I think, a couple of times online. It's a pretty fun adventure if you have the D&D set. You can learn to play from that little packet. Pre-made characters, simple rules if you want to just do pass, fail. Don't go crazy onto skills. And yeah, when that set and the CMFs came out, I was like, this is it. It's like I knew this was going to happen. It's another like, whoa, are they stealing my ideas? No, but it was cool when I went to Utah when that set got released. The designer of that team, Jordan Scott, was in Utah for the Brick Slopes. So I met him, and they brought him in to DM sessions for the Lego event, right? You know, there's like the Lego D&D. We're gonna do teams of 3 or 4 challenging another group, or I think, or I forget how, man. I've been to a couple of different ones. One was like player versus player, and another one, I think the one he did was more like survive, and it was, I don't know, that was player on player too. I don't know. So many stories. But I met the designer of that kit, and he DM'd me. So I rarely get to be a player, and to be DM'd by the guy that made that set, or you know, finagled it from Lucas Bolt, is the fan designer, and then Lego made the kit. But he was a big D&D guy, so he was all about it. And yeah, that Red Dragon Tale adventure is highly recommended.
That's, I don't know, at least the 3rd or 4th time that Slopes has been mentioned. This is usually where Cody magically appears in chat.
Nice.
Interesting to see if that happens in the next minute or two.
Yeah.
I swear he's got radar somehow.
The Swag King.
Yeah. So you said no slopes because construction in August.
Yeah,
that's
Minnesota has 2 seasons, winter and construction. And it's not winter, so guess what? I'm heavy into the job, and I feel like it's everyone's different. I feel like, yeah, you can escape your job. I'll take a week off for Chicago in June. That's also when it's pretty busy. So I've kind of already taken my summer vacation that I feel like is appropriate. And to take another one, it's like, I've done it before, but it's this year seems rough.
Yeah, it's funny because I work in construction myself, right? And similar situation, it's busy season. It's hard to get away. Just took 8 days or whatever for Chicago, so we're
Yeah,
putting slopes off. We'll do it next year
yeah,
somehow. And
yeah. Highly recommend that
it's
one.
it's wild because I don't know if you hear the same thing up where you are, but you hear all kinds of things about businesses slowing down, the economy's falling apart, and whatever. And I don't want to get political here, so we won't go that way. Business is hopping out here. Like the whole construction industry in this area has just been wild.
Your whereabouts are you?
Boston area.
Boston. Okay.
Yeah. We're not quite
Yeah, I
in the
mean,
city. We're 8 or
it
10
goes
miles.
through. They're waiting for funding here and there, and like, but there's always like construction. Like it's. I mean, we were considered emergency workers during COVID. It's like,
Yep.
so I was busy all through COVID. Even that's crazy.
Yeah, and even when town hall shut down out here, we kept going. You know, people had to work from home. They didn't want to be, around the kids. They all needed a spot. We do residential, so we were doing a lot of additions and basement remodels.
Okay.
It's just jammed. And
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, yeah, we need to let's make this space comfortable if we're gonna spend another year here.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, and the momentum's stuck, and nothing has slowed down since then.
Yeah. Yeah. So there are some conventions, I think, in the wintertime. I'm shooting for Atlanta Brick Convention, I think, because they're in February, I believe. Man, to go to Atlanta in February, that sounds
Yeah, that sounds great.
the right time. This August, bad timing right now.
Yeah. So, breaks on the 6th is in November, which I
Yeah.
think is probably the
Last.
last place you want to go to that time of year.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Further north into Canada.
Yeah.
But I mean, right? Yeah. If your day job slows down, yeah, I wouldn't mind that one either. That sounds good. Good people out there.
Is that drivable for you? Long drive, 5-6 hours, maybe.
No, like it's 5-6 hours to Chicago.
Well, I'm trying to think. Breaks on the 6th is Toronto. Is that where that is?
Not sure, but I think it is more northwest. So I think it would probably take at least 10-15 hours.
Okay. Yeah, so it's drivable, but it's an annoying drive.
Yeah. I mean, if you're bringing a mock that you really care about, so like when I brought my Spider-Verse to Portland, I was like, okay, that's a couple of days drive. What if I took the train?
Oh.
I'm like, I bet you the baggage guys are better on a train than the airport. So yeah, I took the train to Bricks Cascade, and I had two big, like the biggest luggage you could get, and full of Spider-Verse, and I did okay.
Wow. Now, where did you have the, what are they called? Standouts? It's like a mosaic, but cut to the character.
X-Men.
Yeah.
It was like like Paper Mario, almost like 3-dimensional. I don't know. It's like that was my own invention. I'm like, I've seen it's like a video game. It's layered. Yeah, that was the X-Men mosaic that we did, and everybody did a different style. So that was like another clever like idea of we're gonna do a spread that's 3 or 4 different covers, and everyone do their own style.
Yeah, I remember seeing pictures of those, and the shaping on those just kind of blew my mind. That's got to be hard to do.
That was tough, yeah, because I had to mosaic it, and then I had to figure out a way to back it with 2 plates, so it wasn't too thick.
Okay.
So I had black plates, basically overlapping in the same pattern of the character, but like I had to figure out the cutout of that. That was all like you can make. I use a mosaic maker to come up with the pixelation, but the whole cutout thing and how to do that was like a whole nother level. Paid
Do you
off.
do you almost have to do that backwards to get that shape?
Yeah, I mean, you have to build some of it upside down, if that's what you mean.
Yeah, I'm just if you. How would I even ask this question?
You have to think of like the character and just black it out. Like do an all black shadow of
Yeah.
the character first. Just do like whatever your pattern is. Just think of the shadow of that, the outline of that character, and all black, and then do plates that somehow interlock. That's how I did that one.
Was it a struggle to find parts that worked in those shapes?
I mean, a little bit because I wanted it thin, you know. So if there was like a headband or a little belt ribbon that was like barely, you know, off the shadow. The shadow of the big person was simple, but where their arms and fingers and legs got a little tinier, the tinier it got, the tougher it was.
Is at that point you don't want sharp edges protruding, right? Where there's no color coverage.
So I was okay with like an edge, like seeing the black because it's almost like the ink outline of a character.
Yeah,
So
but you don't want
shot from the side,
bare studs.
but then behind the character, I had to make up my own art background. So if the scene was a mountain and a sky and a few rocks, I had to continue that rock pattern behind the character. So when you peeked behind the character, I had to make up my own art.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that was like multi-layers, like literally of like making a comic book pop out literally, you know, alive and still function.
Hoarder's question here. Do you know if Mel is going to Brick Fair Baltimore?
Yes. Mel Iceberg is going to Brick Fair Baltimore. I was going to, and again, I just backed out this week. I was signing up, but I hadn't paid yet. And I was going to go to a Brick Fair just to hang out with Mel, really, and try to get the Brick Fair trophy. I don't have the trophy. I don't have the mock ready to like actually compete. I don't know. I'm probably wrong, but I wasn't quite ready for that one. And again, work and my second job is volunteering at this museum, keeping it alive. So not only am I just in the Lego creating that Lego space, but I'm on the board of directors and volunteer coordinator trying to make sure the front desk is covered.
Never a dull moment for you.
No. Yeah. Yeah, we had a fun session with junior engineers a couple weeks back. I don't think I've posted much about it, but we made there's a like kids 10 to 15 learning how to do model railroading, and once a year I do a Lego event with them. So we made some Lego train cars.
Awesome.
And I had them do a speed build.
That's a fun age. One thing, I have to call timeout for 1 second.
Okay.
So last night we ran a giveaway, I spun the wheel, we picked the winner and everything. And basically we had 2 rules to the contest. You had to be over 18 and you had to be from the US. Wouldn't you know that the winner that we chose was not from the US?
Yep.
So, yeah, so we got to spin again. So if
So
you
you
don't
gotta,
mind,
okay.
I got to do that
Here
quick.
comes the wheel of prizes.
Yeah, so let's just do that quick. Wheel of names, random trigger, share. And all right, there it is. So we will spin this wheel quick somehow.
So from Lego, what is it called? Lego Date Night?
Yep. Yeah, so this was, all right,
P&G.
look at that.
There you
P&G.
go.
Congrats,
I'm pretty
man.
sure
Yep. All right, that's good stuff. So that he'll be nice and easy to find, so I can get that out to him very simply.
Right. It's nice to meet new people and give stuff away, but yeah, when you know they're in there, it's like, yay.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, thanks, good guy. Yeah, so that was for the Sauron's helmet.
Nice.
So
I got that one on my desk at work.
Yeah, that's one I'm looking forward to building myself. We got
Pretty
those
fun
on
build.
clearance for $42. It's cheap. I was
Nice.
pretty excited about that. At that point, it was time to stop waiting. That was good.
Yeah, if you can wait to buy Lego until some sort of deal or giveaway, man, that's the time.
And I tell people all the time they should wait at least a little bit until we have a giveaway, because we do a lot of them. And we take requests.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's why not. They're fun. They keep me amused. When Tanya, my wife, was saying last night that one of the side effects of my ADHD is when things get slow, we do giveaways. All right, so we'll transition back there. Sorry for the little distraction there.
That's all right.
All right.
It's weird being focus, but
all right. So we are basically present now. So what's next?
Told you a little bit about D&D for sure, and that's pretty much my present.
Yeah. So are you going to continue diving deeper into that? You said you finished.
Yeah, I mean, so like, you know, like I haven't done a game convention, so I think that's next in my future. You know, I know what Lego conventions are like, Gen Con or Gary Con or Origins, or there's a lot of gaming conventions in the Midwest. So I think I can make it out to a gaming convention and see how that works.
Gary Con. I'm assuming that's in Indiana.
Or Wisconsin.
There's a Gary, Wisconsin.
No, Gary Gygax is inventor. So he has his own con.
Okay. Okay, that makes a little more sense.
But 2 people invented D&D. One's from Wisconsin, and the other was from Minnesota. And they came together. So Dave Arneson and Gary Gygax are the fathers of D&D, and they created what it is now, a version of it from wargaming. One had some idea, and another had another idea, and they kind of came together and blended, which is good, I think, with tabletop games, especially D&D and other games that are like it, to like borrow mechanics and make it a little more different or unique depending on the story you're trying to tell. Daggerheart's the newest one that I'm kind of a big fan of, and Daggerheart is a different mechanic system and very story driven by the players. Like they can decide things, and like that whole idea of kind of letting them, like, you tell me what's in the room. I don't know. I just, I wasn't ready for that. Or you open the chat, if they want to do something and you're not prepared for it, you can like say, because we're all there trying to have fun and tell a story. And the players are telling the story too, right? So if they want to have some invest in interest in the lore of the town or whatever, it's like perfectly fine. And I guess people have been doing it for a long time, but it took a game like Daggerheart to kind of break the mechanics shell of how I learned to play in the 4 years ago, and invite some more creative, I don't know, cinematic storytelling.
For all of those games, whatever that tabletop RPGs, is that what you call
Mm-hmm.
them?
Yep.
Would you be able to mix Lego into any of them? Would be a similar kind of situation there.
Would I be able to mix Lego into? Yeah, I mean, for Daggerheart, I just did like D&D. I made maps. For most of them, you still need a map and little players to strategically jump around and attack. So for the battle part, if there's any kind of battle, that's when the Lego gets involved.
Okay. Trying to picture the operation here. All right, so there's key like landmark set pieces. So we're like, all right, well, we know that in these like 10 scenes or whatever the number is, this is where major conflicts are going to happen. So you can plan ahead and build those.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it like next week we know we're going to get to this kind of spot and then you build it in between?
Yeah. Yes. There's definitely a path that I think they're going to take. And a couple of side rooms that may not have encounters, like there's no battle, so there's no reason to build everything.
Okay.
You can use theater of the mind some of the time. It's good. But I don't know. It's you want to give them some impulsive decision-making things in this world, though, right? So otherwise it feels like the term is railroad. You railroad them a certain direction, so they could only go a certain path. But I think that's still all part of the game. Like can't have like just a super open sandbox every time.
Okay. All right. So it is really a choose your own adventure. So you might not even end up places where you thought you were going to at the start.
Right.
Okay.
Or something might be super simple. Like I don't like this is going to be super hard for them to get through this graveyard, and then I'll figure out what's next. And then they figure something out, and they're right through it. So now I got to think ahead of. But usually I'm borrowing stories from these modules.
Wow. All right. I'll put this up on the screen here. Would be cool to record all of the sessions of your gameplay and then translate that into a Lego stop motion story.
Whoa.
Complete with any manner of craziness that may have occurred between players during game sessions. That would be wild.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
You go for that, Zizu. I'll hire or Hoarder. I'll hire you for that. Yeah, I've done some stop motion before. I kind of did that whole story on Brick Adjuster's channel. I haven't done any for a long time. That's a time commitment.
Yeah. Shout out to Nick and Maria. Those guys are great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for anyone watching, if you haven't subscribed to Brick Adjuster's channel, go ahead and do that. They're on every Friday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. And great people. It's always a pleasure to see them. My God, they're always so happy.
Yeah.
I don't mean to say that like it's a bad thing. That is purely positive.
Yeah, they're super high energy. They're always at the conventions too. It's nice to bump into them. Sorry, I took a screenshot of the comic book auction I'm missing right now.
Oh,
I'm there every week, and yeah, Larry's there. Things have been waning down for them, so no prize book. Some of it's all the same stuff.
are you still actively buying comics?
A little bit, yeah. So yep. Every Tuesday, I'm usually watching this Facebook auction, and it's Larry's buddy that I met in Colorado. So I like to buy a couple of book, $5, $10, $20 books. Not nothing crazy, but a handful of books every once in a while from them. And he has really he ships it really well, and the condition is like super near mint, so I can always trust that they come in good condition. And then I have a membership at the local comic book store, so Wednesdays new comics come out, and I'll usually try to snag whatever you think is going to be the new hot book. I wish I had picked up Absolute Batman a couple years back, because that is like the most recent hot DC thing.
That gets so confusing. What did we
What
buy?
part?
The trying to pick the hot thing, because
Oh,
now there's so many different variants all the time.
yeah.
And then you have, retailer specific variants, and then variants with 3 different artists. And it's like,
Yeah, there's 5 different covers for all the hot books, and or more. And then if they do if it's decent, they'll do a second printing, and then there's different covers for those. So you got to be careful. Like if you're trying to buy that first print, you won't know. You might know might have some, but then you got to be there the day of to make sure you get a copy, because they'll only get so many per store. So it helps to go the day of releases and just kind of wing it. And then hopefully 10, 20 years, 10 years later, there's, they make a movie out of it, and then it's becomes more collectible also.
And then you try to pick the least attractive of the variants to be the one that you will actually read yourself.
I don't know. I read them. You read it, you just be careful, and then put it in a bag. Yeah, just like Lego, I'll open the set. I will play with the brick. I will open a comic. I will read the comic.
And that's kind of their intended purpose.
Right? Yeah, it's about the story. It's about the art, and it's a collectible. That's win-win-win for me. So that's another collection that's sitting in the backlog area where I don't know when when that becomes a retirement savings dump or something.
Yeah, I offloaded most of the comic collection a lot of years ago. I hung on to the stuff that just personally really enjoyed. Stuff I'll crack again, read to the future, let the kids read at some point, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I bought anything.
Yeah, there's
might have to pick up again.
Yeah, there's good stuff all over but it's I don't know.
What was the last thing I bought as a new release? Was it the 1000th Batman? I think it was.
Yeah, there was a 1000 Batman Legacy. They're like legacy issues now. They're keeping track of like all the continued numbering system.
That's crazy to think about. 1,000 issues.
Right?
Wild.
When you can only do 12 a year.
Yeah.
They're monthly series.
Now, I wonder with that, because I don't think I ever saw a proper explanation of how they defined 1,000, because it started off Detective Comics, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that includes all of that. Does that also include all of the other stories, like the not like mainline Batman stuff? How do they count that?
Yeah, they're trying to keep it to a one issue. I think a single type of issue per month.
Okay.
As far as an ongoing series. But yeah, like Detective Comics is way up there in the hundreds, and Batman and Superman and stuff, Spider-Man. They're like, I don't know. I don't have all of it figured out, but it's kind of new that they're like actually printing legacy numbers on. So it'll be Spider-Man issue 11 because they keep restarting the numbers, but it might be Legacy 750 or whatever. So I think they try to stay true to it's that one character or team.
Yeah. I wonder if you can look that up and see what all the legacy numbers are. There's like a page that contains all of that.
I go to Key Collector, but like I haven't found a good system that explains the legacy numbers, or I haven't researched it. I know it's out there, and like I don't have any right next to me, but sometimes they're right on the back of the issue or the front of the issue. They'll just say what legacy number it is, but yeah, I'm sure a little delve down the internet web would reveal some info.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Yeah. Like for Wolverine, would that count Wolverine and X-Men, and then like Wolverine versus
Not and X-Men. It would be single issue Wolverines if you wanted legacy Wolverine, but X-Men would be a different count.
Okay. All right, so single issue Wolverine. All right, so Wolverine versus Punisher wouldn't count.
Wolverine versus Punisher, right? Yeah, like those or Punisher. Probably not team ups.
Okay. Like Wolverine and Hulk.
Yeah, yeah. Those are like one shots or miniseries that are off of the main line.
Okay. Sooner or later, everybody either teams up or fights everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, as far as issues with that character, like if you think Batman 1000 is crazy, it's probably I don't know tens and who knows of thousands of comics that have Batman or a Batman on the main team or title.
Yeah, because even like the silly Batman appearances ended up in comic form. What was that? Batman met Scooby Doo at one point, right?
Mm-hmm.
And ridiculous things.
Yeah,
I'm always pro Scooby. It's a little weird in comic form.
yeah. There's some crazy Scooby and Archie comics still. They're doing like weird stuff.
Yeah. Angel is coming back. Like Angel, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That Angel
yeah.
is coming back.
Well, they're rebooting Buffy, I think, or something.
They, what was it? Hulu was going to have the contract for that, and they ended up shutting it down before the pilot.
Not a good idea.
I don't know. It just purely for nostalgia. I was kind of hoping I'd love that show.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I didn't get crazy into that. Supernatural, I watched a little bit. Another good one.
did you watch Firefly?
A little bit. But that was, single issue. They're rebooting that or something, I think. They got a Kickstarter to do.
Yeah,
Like,
I saw
I
something.
think they're gonna
about
do an animated version, so the real people will voice it, and they'll just like continue the story. You know, so and so might have died, but oh well. We gotta, you know, people want the story, so they kickstarted. You know, the fans funded some, and that's happening more and more and more.
that. I love it.
Kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, some of these things, Firefly, you know, I'll take it in whatever form they want to give it to me. You know, and I'm all right with animated.
Yeah,
I would prefer they do it like Clone War style, like that type of animation. I think would fit
yeah,
well.
yeah. There's good anime these days.
Yeah, yeah, and then
The
there's
Star Wars Visions stuff is super cool, where there's
yeah,
different art and it's like Star Wars, but it's like twisted kind of Japanimation style.
yeah, yeah. Some of that's fun. I can't handle like Teen Titans Go. Like that's a little much for me. I
That's
don't know.
made for a younger audience for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So my
Some of that
kids,
goofy stuff gets like okay, like Harley Quinn and uh is kind of goofy, but yeah, I don't know.
yeah. Like I can do goofy. It's when it's the random like jar on the floor, weird anime tears, and like the booger drama.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they get to that point, I don't know. Although I do like One Piece, so maybe it's
That's
not.
a weird one, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I did you watch the animated version of that or the
Uh,
Netflix version? If there were.
I've watched some of the animated shows,
Okay.
yeah, but I never like liked it enough to get through a whole season. Just enough to like, what is this? You know, why why do people like this guy? I don't know. Why is his arm stretch? I don't know. But the live action version was pretty cool.
Yeah, we watched the live action first, and then curiosity kind of get the best of us, and we checked out the animated version. And it's like, all right, well, this is mildly entertaining. We can watch it with the kids. It's borderline whether we should or not, but
Yeah.
we push the envelope a little bit with the kids, maybe. And then it turned out there was like 100 episodes in the first season.
Oh, there's so many. There's so many episodes of that show. It's crazy.
What are we getting involved in?
Yeah.
So I think after like 3 seasons, we stopped. And, my wife's seeing Clone Wars for the first time now, so it's cool. That's time better spent, I think.
Yep.
All right, well, we are pushing 2 hours. What part of the story am I forgetting to ask here?
Boy. I don't know. We went through everything I kind of prepared to think of to talk to, and you asked some other questions. I think it was personal enough that we don't have to get into the hims and haws of what, you know, new Lego set have you bought or whatever, you know, the usual build streams. So I've got a sig fig. I've got a couple sig figs sitting here. So I've had 2 sig figs.
Oh, hold on.
That's something I can show off. There is a Batman with a t-shirt kind of look. So I took the arms off of Lego Batman with the 6-pack abs and gave him a pair of jeans and different arms from the gamer. That was my first sig fig. So this guy right here, I've had, I don't know if I had 100 of him or something when I was trading sig figs to different people. And then, so in the last, 3-4 years of playing D&D, I'm like, I don't have that guy anymore. So let's do a D&D version, Dungeon Master Jesse. So here is Dungeon Master Jesse version. And he's got like a dwarf torso from a CMF, like Series 5. That's kind of rare, but wasn't too crazy to get. And I give him a little trophy figure, like I'm putting down a big monster in Stranger Things. Like, here's the Demogorgon. So that's my sig fig update. I just recently just found the old one. Just like fell out of a random bag or box or something. I can't hear you when I'm on the big screen, by the way. I don't know if you're talking about.
Okay, there we go. Swapping the arms a pain, like tracking down the additional torso. I mean,
It can be, but if you do it right away, when they're still fresh, it's less possible breakage or crackage. But the older they get, you're gonna maybe crack a torso.
You have to buy twice as many torsos though to get that done.
Yeah. For that guy, I've got so many random black arms.
Oh, man. Would it have been?
And then the T-shirt that I didn't use, the Player One shirt, I got a whole bunch of Player One shirts just to get that sleeved shirt.
Would it have been easier to have them printed? Well, I guess you only get the outside of the arm printed though if you do that, right?
Right. I don't. Yeah. I guess you can go that route, but I think it's kind of nice to not print, to just fig bash. Seemed like more OG way to create yourself out of Lego. And I picked I was literally wearing this Batman shirt like earlier today, so like I have that shirt. I was gonna say, like, when the Lego movie came out and Lego Batman movie, that's where that's from. And I was buying all of those sets, and every single one came with Batman. Guess what? I I only need one Batman, so every other one was just created into my sig fig.
What year did that movie come out?
Yo, must have been, I don't know. I'd have to look that up. 2017, something.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It had to be 10 years ago.
Yeah.
More.
There was something going around about what's the guy who plays John Wick there? Keanu Reeves being in the next Lego movie. Be interesting to see what happens with that. Now, I don't think it was ever specifically said that it was like another Lego movie, like the Lego movie. It could be some other action-related something that they're doing. Be interesting to see what happens with that. Hopefully, it's an actual Lego thing and not one of these weird. What was the Pharrell thing called?
Oh yeah, brick by brick, wasn't it?
Yeah,
piece by piece.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody's basically forgotten about that at this point.
Yeah, it was good for him. I'm glad he did that and had a set, and it was a fun movie to show his documentary story.
Yeah, it just, I don't know, something about it felt weird to me. I mean, I'm all right with his music. I have no issue with the movie happening or anything like that. It was, I don't know if it was just the marketing that was weird. Like, I don't feel like they tried to market it to Lego people. They tried to market it to just the average moviegoer to try to bring them into Lego.
Yeah,
it's like I like to be sold to too.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, they had the one set, and it was a cool little ship, and had all the flesh tone heads that I liked. I was like, dang, this is a good full flesh tone head pack. But Yeah, the movie itself. Like they're doing that a lot these days, you know. Olivia Rodrigo sets. They're doing that just for her fans, way more than the Lego fandom, to bring more people in. You know, that's that gateway Lego set.
Yeah, I feel like with that one, I mean, I didn't know anything at all about her until I saw that the sets were coming, and then I did a little bit of homework because I was curious. But I feel like they're at least attempting to market that to existing fans.
Mm-hmm.
With the Pharrell thing, I almost feel like they forgot about us, and that felt weird to me.
Mm.
But and I think after that was when I started noticing more and more they were doing things that had nothing to do with their actual fans of the hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was just coincidence of timing. I don't know.
Yeah,
Strange. It's been a lot of that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna guess at what they're doing, but they've got the means. They're gonna try it. They've tried so many things, try and fail. You know, if you don't put your name in your hat, and that, you know, you can't win. So they're gonna try everything they can to keep being the number one toy brand.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, without innovation, you get stagnant, and then that just spells your death, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure more cool stuff will come out on the way. You know, they'll put out something to cover up dreams and Monkey Kid. Although I want Monkey Kid back. But,
Yeah, that was a strange one that they're like targeting just like Chinese audiences.
yeah. If they had put that on Netflix here, I think it would have done very well.
Mm.
It was a very entertaining show. And the sets were phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
But nobody here cared about them because they had no awareness of the source material.
Right. And then they didn't sell them in box stores. You had only online only.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you can't see the source material and you can't actually see the set in front of you,
Yeah.
what are you going to do with that?
Yeah. Another weird experiment.
Yeah. Yeah, but the sets were so good. They were Ninjago, but taken up another notch or two.
Yeah. Some cool parts came out of what like the staff. Now we have a different hilt that's not a lightsaber blade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of good stuff there. And oh man, the colors. I mean, we get the colors now from all of the Lunar New Year sets. Whatever, we get a lot of that palette.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, good stuff. All right.
Right on. Well, we can wrap it up if you want.
All
like
right.
we've talked about
Yeah.
me. Now we're kind of going down the Lego general
Yeah.
thing. And I can
All right.
talk Lego, but
All right. So, anywhere special you want to plug? So I have links to your Instagram and your YouTube channel in the show description. So everybody watching, go check that out.
cool.
Anywhere else that you want to plug?
I mean, I just started the Instagram account for the Lego Train Club, so I'm running that. So if you see GMLTC, Greater Midwest Lego Train Club, in the grams, I'm
GMLTC.
Yep.
There it is.
That only has 5 posts right now, but I got it up to almost 100 followers. So
Right on.
I'm following Lego creators, and you'll get followed back or whatnot.
All right. I will drop that link in chat.
Definitely. That's nice. That's the lug I'm in. Twin lug is the other one, but I'm pumping GFLTC because Lego's changing all the rules for being a lug, and they want a social media presence, and they want you to have branded T-shirts and all this crazy stuff. And we've thought about these things, but drag our feet a lot because we're complacently happy in this museum. We don't have to be selling gimmicky events that are centric to a certain theme or a smart brick or whatever, you know, like we're not set. We're promoting Lego, but we're not like relevantly promoting like their current line and stuff, which I think is what their direction that they're taking right now. So I'm not gonna say things are gonna change for what we do, but we are gonna try to have more of a social media presence on the gram, and that would be cool. Yeah. So if anybody sees that, that's legit. And I've already got a bunch of people followed. So in a day, I was like, nice, this is working. You just got to follow people and they'll follow you back. So that's about it. I'm on Friday Night Bricks. Friday Night Bricks is a YouTube show that is pretty much a guest host or co-host of. So you can see me Fridays, and then usually right after Friday Night Bricks is Critical Bricks, where we play Dungeons and Dragons using Lego. So you'll see cross promotion of Friday Night Bricks and my Lego D&D stuff. So thanks for having me on and let me plug a couple things.
Yeah, absolutely. Friday Night Bricks, what time is that?
7:00 Central.
So 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yep.
Okay. So that's an early show. Okay.
Yeah, but it usually goes all night. You know, like it's a 3, 4, 5 hour show. That I mean, I don't think he's gone that late. You know, but you just like there's no dedicated stop time. So
okay.
if people show up and they're having a good time, you'll see a lot of the people in your chat, Hoarder 66 and Zizu in there. Other people that join the show include the owners of Brick World, Brian Bonahum and Mark Larson. And the show's going. It's on like episode 420 something. So
wow.
It's like a 10-year history or something crazy.
Yeah.
So Friday Night Bricks is my other homie's channel that I'm pretty much co-host of, and I'd probably leave it at that.
Okay.
That and check out GMLTC. That's a new one, so I'm glad I got to say that.
All right, beautiful. All right, well, everybody can go check out all of that. The good times this order. Yeah. So the link for that Instagram is in chat now, and I will try and add that to the description when we sign off. But Jesse, thank you so much for hanging out tonight. This has been a pleasure.
Cool. Yeah, you saved my pocketbook. I didn't buy any comics.
Well, you're welcome, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, all right. You got to choose your things, you know. So this was something new, and I was like, when I saw your invite, I was like, okay, he's legit. He's all the same people. But a Tuesday, I was like, we'll make it work.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's a tough night.
Can't say I'll be watching on Tuesdays, but usually I am starting to watch, you know, and check in and say hello.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
So
yeah. It's a tough night, but it's the only empty one in the week. So take what we can get.
All right. Do whatever works, man. Yeah. Everyone out there, do what you think is fun. Don't try to win. Just try to, you know, do something cool and be kind to each other, and good things will happen.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that note, I appreciate you so much. Everyone in chat, I love you guys. I will see you next Tuesday. PJ Bricks is going to be on with us. It's Peter over from the world of TikTok. So until next Tuesday, good night, everyone. Thank you again.